Remember, this entire manga and every manga on this channel is hand-drawn by myself, and now you too can learn exactly how to make your own viral Dragon Ball mangas at www.makemanga.com, where you can learn directly from me. My mangas have got me on TV, on newspapers, and even earned me over $60,000 a month on Patreon alone. And now, you can click the link in the description and pinned comment of this video and do it yourself. You only need to see the website to see just how many thousands of you are taking this opportunity right now. And don't forget also, the next video to this Ultra Vegito series has already been made and is live now on my Patreon right now for over 4,500 of you incredible fans to watch after this. Again, links are in the pinned comment and description. Enjoy.
So these are who my fellow Saiyans are. The resemblance is truly uncanny. Inbred fools. Gohan! So our story continues with the brutal entrance and reveal of the Royal Guard-infused Gohan, a demon in the making that has finally found his vessel in the young Saiyan, as Gohan, with his all-new look, would stare across at the three God Killers, smugly, each with their green seraphim eyes activated as if reacting to Gohan's own. But with his contagious grin, the possessed Gohan would then let out, "What an interesting time to have been brought back, and an even more interesting vessel. I wondered why my eyesight has seemed a little different. This green seraphim must be a variant meant only for you Saiyans. And here I thought only special species like the Namekians could have their own. Unlike theirs though, these seem even sharper than a demon's." Before Gohan would then turn to Lucifer, who remains floating in the air, and with an obvious comfortability and familiarity, he would address him. "Are you jealous, old friend? I see your plan to come back has worked just as you told me all those years ago. But it seems you're in your original body. No green seraphim for you, huh?" To which Lucifer, smirking away with his arms folded, would respond,
"We both know I possess far more impressive things than silly mortal eyes. But even then, that will be mine too. My vessel has yet to arrive, but he will be here soon. Just wait until you meet him. The God Killer that made all of this possible. Be prepared. He reminds me a lot of you. Sparda!"
As finally, the Omni-King Lucifer himself would then reveal to all the demon that made Gohan his host, the one known as Sparda, in some theologies known as the father of Virgil and Dante. Like me? Don't make me laugh, Lucifer. As the newly named Sparda would then stare into his palms, still marveling at his powerful, youthful body, as he would continue, "But I must admit, you picked well here. And with knowing how greedy you are, for you to give me this, you must have left the best for last." Sparda! Gohan! What have they done to you? But Goku, hearing all of this, would remain puzzled, seemingly unable to separate his son's face from the demon.
Kakarot, get it together!
But Vegeta, maintaining reality, would forcibly call to Goku and let out,
I shouldn't have to tell you this, but this isn't Gohan anymore. Forget about him. As far as we're concerned, Gohan is gone, and we'll bring him back when this is all over. This guy right here, he's standing in the way of us saving every living thing in the multiverse. None of us can go easy on him.
Father! Goku! I think we're all missing something here. But Trunks would be concerned with other things, as clinging closely to every word Lucif would be saying. With his eyes wide open, Trunks would explain, Did you guys hear Lucif properly? He said his vessel will be here soon. A god killer. He means Vegito! Vegito is coming back!
Vegito!
Leaving Goku and Vegeta stunned, as after all this time, bettering themselves and dealing with everything themselves, Demon King and Emperors one after the other, both Goku and Vegeta had completely lost any faith in really seeing the original God Killer make his comeback. Enough talk of this Vegito! The Ultimate Saiyan exists right here in front of you! Have you maggots forgotten already? But seemingly triggered by the fuss over this supposed God Killer, Sparda would grimace Gohan's face as his jealousy would burn through. Perhaps I'll remind you! As immediately, just as fast and rapidly as he attacked Goku last chapter, Sparda would immediately reach out straight for Vegeta, who even with his Seraphim would only just about react. And with his arms flexed and pulled straight back, the possessed Saiyan would be ready to land the same fist he did on his father, right on the prince.
You need to do better than that for me, kid!
As just at the last second, the prince would in no way allow Sparda's attack to land, instantly bringing both his arms together to cross and lessen the blow.
But this is definitely not Gohan's power! I'll be damned if that kid could make me struggle like this!
But regardless of Vegeta's fast instinct to block, when we would look closer, his entire body would be under load and pulsating with veins just to hold Sparda's punch back, starting with his face, which would have his teeth completely bared. Eventually leading to the prince being sent away even with his block, as Gohan would remain in place. Vegeta! Father! And in response, not standing around anymore, both Goku and Trunks would step into action, tensing their bodies and getting into stance before... As just like that, both God Killers would immediately blast off to Vegeta to send their aid.
And so, the wait begins.
But as the Saiyans would fight, unbeknownst to them, Lucifer would soon land from his earlier position, raising his arm up again, just like last time, saying,
Such a cold planet. At the very least, I'll need a seat worthy.
And with that, Lucifer would snap his fingers, and all around him, the ground would begin to briefly shake. Eventually revealing his signature throne emerging from the ground as if created by the planet itself, slowly walking over before taking his rightful seat. And with a pleased look, the Omni King would watch on at the ensuing battle, commenting,
Just right. Tick-tock, Vegito. Time is running short for your friends, and the great merger will begin soon. Come here and witness the birth of the first Omni-Devil. And I know all of you are listening, aren't you? My time is coming, and so is yours, Elder Gods. You hear me? I always follow my word. And from not good enough to be the Grand Priest, to becoming the Omni King, and then the Omni Devil, I will soon rule over even the Elder Gods. Everything will be reborn as mine.
As screaming into the sky, clearly talking to unknown creatures, Lucifer would make his convictions known, and with full confidence, someone would be listening to him. And soon, as the scene would begin zooming out and taking on a strange green tint, Lucifer would be revealed to be in fact be watched. This time within a lime green crystal ball before... Suddenly, we would see the appearance of not only Acobel and Castiel, but 5 other mysterious Elder Gods, all staring intently into the events of the so-called Multiverse 20. You see? This impetulant creature is actually doing it! He's going to force our hand! As soon enough, the rage of the Elder God Acobel would be clear for all to see, when he would slam his hand forcefully onto the mysterious table in front. Calm down, child. But it would then be at this point one of the other older-looking gods, a bearded man of extreme muscular frame and black sclera for eyes, would let out, Indeed, you and Castiel were right. This is no ordinary multiversal incident, and it does not bode well if what we are seeing is true. I never could have foreseen this, but that upstart from the past, your reckless spawn no less, has finally returned, and with even more success. Success? You compliment him too much, Zeus. As soon, yet another elderly god, much shorter and smaller in frame, crouched over the table, would say in reply, Things may look bad, but they have looked bad many times before, including the last time this Lucifer attempted a coup. We must always remember, for every negative force, there will always be a competing positive. That is the balance of power, and why all things will work out in the end. Our realm has never been touched, and this will be no exception. But that's exactly what Brother said. But Castiel, in his elegance, would be quick to retort, explaining, he must have learned that from you. As he too said, all things will return to normal, just as they have, since the dawn of time. I quote, Before continuing, but after seeing what I've shown him, he now knows this is no ordinary situation. As you see, this Lucif fellow is far from our only threat, for as at the same time as he carries out his plans, another is coming for his head, and with possibly even greater strength, a certain Vegito. Yeah? And what? But one of the even younger gods, with a dark black hair, would be ultimately unfazed, as nonchalantly with his hands behind his head, he would let out, "Can you not hear or what, Castiel?" That's exactly what the old man Ares just said. For every negative or evil, a positive or good will come. That's what this Vegito guy will be. No. But Akabel, responding with annoyance, would say, "This Vegito kid who's coming to stop Lucif, he isn't positive either. Not only is he making his way through the demon realm as we speak, but when he reaches back to the mortals, he too will seek to destroy us." And with that said, suddenly there would be a shift in the atmosphere among the elder gods, as for the first time they realize the so-called balance of power may actually be in danger, with now not just one multiversal threat, but two. It's as worrying hearing it this second time. I suppose you all understand now. As Castiel, calming himself, would close his eyes smiling, saying, "For now, there is a silver lining, that this god killer isn't aware of our existence. He believes he has killed all the gods, a fact which is mostly true for the mortal realm, but we can assume Lucif will tell him soon, either in some rambling monologue just like his father, or perhaps in his final words if he does end up losing. This Vegito fellow even has a habit of absorbing his victims, so not only will he gain knowledge that way, but he will gain Lucif's power too. Who cares about that?" Finally, now being interjected by a scarred and visor-wearing god, who would add, "The main threat here is Lucif successfully merging the realms. Doing that will grant him power not meant for his kind. It's true, it will rival ours, and he seemed confident of this, even waiting for this Vegito. He may know something we don't." The young black-haired god, though, would then agree as well, saying, "Well, I had a look into Multiverse 20 as well, and it seems he's installed some kind of soul-siphoning tower on almost every planet of every universe. I'm not sure how it works, but I believe he may already have the strength to make the merger happen. Why he wants this Vegito guy, though, is still a mystery." Since when did elder gods become such cowards? Are we really caring for a half-breed and now a damn mortal too? I've created more of these creatures out of thin air than hairs on Zeus's beard. But one god, making his voice heard for the first time, would interject with a sinister tone and confidence, as he would announce, "Even if this Lucif merged realms, the power of an Omni-Devil would only just about match one of us, the weakest of you. If it was me, I'd finish him in one blow. Worry not. Shut up! You're the weakest here, punk! But in a funny scene, it seems this young long-haired god may be more bark than bite, as one of the others is quick to smack him on the head and bring him back down to reality. Comedically getting angry in the background as the larger god would continue. Look, yes, this could be a problem, but there's some truth to what Hera just said. However strong these two could get, they shouldn't pose much threat to us on the whole. Especially not you, Akabel. Why worry like this? To which Akabel would then respond, a merger like this hasn't been witnessed ever. The power-up he could gain is still a mystery. But even then, it's not about Lucif. If he is able to join with this other negative force, vegito, together, their power could be unlike what we've ever imagined. The end of times. Enough! I have heard enough. But finally ending all discussion, the all-powerful and seemingly senior god would put things to a stop, as he would finish. Akabel, Castiel, you were right to bring this to our attention, and we must keep watch of this. Interfere where necessary with what means we have. There is more wrong with this multiverse than I first thought. There seems to be multiple timelines, ruined and destroyed. Even this one has a warrior who does not belong to that timeline. This could only be the work of Kronoa! Where is she? As suddenly giving off a far more cold and serious look with palpable rage, he would wonder where the so-called Keeper of Time had gone, when quite clearly a meeting of the Elder Gods had been called. And soon enough, though they wouldn't see, from our view, a certain pair of dainty feet would be seen moving back and forth, floating over the ground. As soon, we would then cast our eyes on an older and more voluptuous-looking Keeper of Time, Kronoa, than we may have seen in other timelines. But without much care in the world, she would be sat on her throne saying, I sense Zeus is calling. That old man can be heard from anywhere. I guess they have begun to realize my little game. As morphing to a colder face, she would continue finally. I may have gone a little overboard, but who can doubt this hasn't been the most interesting a multiverse has ever been. What use is there in our Elder God power if there is nothing we can use it on? I'm sure they'll thank me later. At least, I think. But as the final Elder God would finish, we would return back to a far less calm environment, back with the Saiyans who even surpassed the gods, as Sparta Gohan finds himself locked hand in hand with Vegeta, a grin on the demonic Saiyan, while Vegeta would give it his all, grimacing. This is tragic, Vegeta. What do you think you're even doing in that form? Just trying to show me your eyes? I already saw how much stronger you are with your partial devil transformation. Why weaken yourself, fool? But Vegeta, continuing to give it his all, would grunt. Unfortunately, you aren't the only freak from the demon world here. So saving my energy is what's needed now. Ha! Saving your energy? What use will that be when I kill you here and now? But with Vegeta now grinning, his confidence would allow him to say, "You can try, but another reason is because I'm not alone here either." Just as Vegeta would say that, words would become actions, as a familiar foot would come slamming hard right onto Gohan's face, morphing it instantly. Father, I'm here! As once Sparta would be sent flying off from the force of the God Killer's kick, it would of course be revealed to be from Trunks. About time! Now to send this clown to Kakarot! As an immediate response after, as if choreographed, within Vegeta's two palms, he would instantly begin powering up two concentrated balls of energy. Take this, you vile invader! As just like that, Vegeta, with vigor, would toss both energy balls simultaneously and with extreme speed, in mere moments reaching the still careering backwards Gohan. What is this supposed to be? Is this supposed to do anything to me? But smiling back, Sparta wouldn't be concerned in the slightest. Immediately grabbing both balls of energy in his palms as if they were his own. Wait! But soon it would become clear that these specific balls of energy may not have been conjured for the purpose of causing damage, but more so to lead the demonic Saiyan in a certain direction. As with the beams pushing hard onto Gohan, he would continue to be flung backwards and even faster than before, as right behind, a familiar black-haired warrior would lie in wait. I'll end this now! Gohan! Goku! Do it now! Dragon Fist him! As seemingly completely planned, Trunks would yell out to his fellow God Killer to finish the job and in spectacular fashion. How are these so strong? And as Gohan's strained face would continue to move back, Goku would indeed clench his fist tight, pulling it back. Huh? You too! How did you even recover? Sneaking up right behind the perplexed Sparta, as looking back, it would seem like he was looking at a ghost from the past. I can't do it! Gohan! But in a shock turn of events, at the last second, Goku's love for his firstborn would freeze him on the spot, unable to send him to the afterlife, especially after just getting him back, leaving him motionless. This is gold! The weakling can't hit me just because I'm his kin! Pathetic! As taking his chance immediately, Gohan would then push both energy balls straight into the sky, much to Goku's surprise. Before... Oh, father, maybe I was wrong. You're a great dad! as turning ferociously with a devilish smirk, Sparda would callously take advantage of Goku's parental love and return with a vicious gut punch as his payback, damaging Goku yet again as blood would forcefully spurt from his lips. Kakarot, you fool! This turn of events triggering the prince immediately, as he would continue with veins pulsating from his anger. Forget about this clown! He's too damn soft to fight his friends! Nothing's changed. Just like when he couldn't bear to show me his Super Saiyan 3 form and cut me down quick. We're on our own! Come, Trunks! As instantly, taking matters into his own hands, the prince would set off with speed. Father, would you do the same for me? Leaving Trunks with a momentary existential crisis over whether his own father would display the same love. Before ultimately, he would get his head back in the game and shoot off also. And within a flash, the Saiyan Prince would already be right there, spearheading a fist straight for Sparda, as his son would follow close behind with an energy ball in hand. I missed! Lucky brat! You're never catching up to me like that. Just power up, fool! You haven't got the backup you thought you did. You'll regret counting me out like that, demon! As furious in the background, Godkiller Trunks' energy ball would start flashing bright in response. Until ultimately blasting forward with pure intensity, as if he was facing the androids again. Catching both Vegeta and Gohan's attention as their whole faces and bodies would light up. What the? Thanks for your energy! As in a stunning move, Vegito-esque in fact, Trunks' power would be absorbed completely by one of the demonic twins on Sparda's chest suddenly coming to life and swallowing the beam whole. All while the demonic Saiyan's face would light up in glee. Good boy, Dante! As with Sparda's grin and comments, it would be revealed his right pectoral would be Dante and the left would be Virgil, both faces on his chest grumbling and giggling away. What is he? He can absorb energy too! Stunning Godkiller Trunks, who despite his own cell tail and android energy siphoning device, would be totally bemused to see another Saiyan warrior showcase an even better skill. Now that you've given me that, dear Trunks, it's only right I return the favor. Here! Stay still now! As suddenly pointing his finger down, it would seem as though Gohan would begin generating a ball of energy of his own, but from the black sludge of his symbiote suit, akin to grafting off and reforming it into a sphere. What am I sensing here? And as the energy would swell up top, dragging in every cloud around, a stunned Trunks would be left paralyzed, muttering, "It's so dark! Is this really Gohan creating that?" As instantly, blasting down with full force a giant beam around the black sphere, a force of beam seemingly unlike any other, would take everyone by surprise in its sheer size and destructive force. No way! immediately stunning Trunks, as before him would look more than a spirit bomb than just a lone beam. His long flowing hair immediately blown back as it would approach. This is going to hurt! Trunks, doing his utmost to prepare, would then emulate his father, crossing his arms, hoping for the best. But ultimately, as the insanely fast-moving beam would make impact, the resulting explosion would look just as incomparable. No! Trunks! Please, tell me that didn't! Leaving a frozen Vegeta in the air, utterly powerless to do a thing about it. Damn it! But Sparda would not end there, taking Vegeta's brief pause as a chance to wrap a symbiote tentacle straight around Vegeta's neck, constricting it immediately. Vegeta! But as the two Saiyans would struggle, it would be Goku that would continue to do nothing, just watching as his once son would do the unthinkable. I need to stop this! But Gohan, break free! Trying his best now to reach out to Gohan verbally, but all the while, Vegeta would be struck repeatedly. Smacked all over his body non-stop as blood would find its way out of his mouth. What am I supposed to do? If I kill Gohan, will I really be able to revive him? I don't know that for sure. I couldn't do that. I couldn't take that risk. Could I even beat him? Gohan, I never thought a day like this would ever happen. As with Goku pondering internally a million questions and reasons to stop him from murdering his own son, a flood of memories from the past would come through Goku's mind, from his childhood to his teens and even as an adult. I just don't know what to do. If I let everyone down again though, I don't think I could live with myself. Gohan, give me a sign! Now ducking his head in what looks like a total mental defeat. But just as all hope would be lost, as he would call out to Gohan, a hand would indeed grab onto his shoulder. Dad! And it would once more be his missing father, now back in the picture, to offer a final piece of advice. As Bardock would say, Kakarot, this is your decision. Nobody here can force you to fight your own son to the death. I couldn't say I'd know what to do either, but I haven't spent long enough with you to know what you would want in your heart in this situation. But you do. Only you know what Gohan would want you to do. Think deeply, son. What Gohan would want me to do? As suddenly on hearing this piece of advice, Goku's green seraphim would flash, as if a revelation had just been unlocked. And out of nowhere, as this would happen, for some reason, Goku would roar into the air as his hair would rise. Father! But as this would happen with Goku, elsewhere, Vegeta would land harshly on the ground next to Trunks, who at the very least had survived. But in the next panel, as they would lay together, Sparda Gohan would already be on their tail. Time to end this farce! Power up now, before it's too late! Coming in with speed and a smile before... Suddenly, all confidence would go, as the possessed Gohan would now find himself stopped in his tracks. Where am I? As looking around rapidly, we would already see his background was not quite the same, but once zoomed out, his tiny black silhouette would be seen surrounded by total nothingness. What? Those two, aren't they? But in the distance, finally, he would spot two figures, ones he would strangely recognize. Dad? Gohan? What? As in a shock, unexpected moment, the two figures would be a younger Goku and a child Gohan, still with his hair grown out and both in Saiyan uniform. The blank white area Sparda had come to was in actuality the hyperbolic time chamber. And with this, the strange scene from the past would then play out. A fierce Gohan yelling, "That's not good enough, Dad! Not if you want me to become a Super Saiyan!" The words leaving Goku speechless, as Gohan would continue, "You have to give it everything you've got, even if it kills me. Don't you get it? It's all or nothing. There's no in between." As the scene would then zoom out with Gohan continuing, "Look, Dad, I know you love me and you don't want to hurt me, but if I don't become a Super Saiyan, all the time we've spent in here would be for nothing. Don't you see?" And for a moment, a silent Goku would stare at Gohan in deep thought before... In a sudden burst of power, the young Goku would answer his son's calls, turning Super Saiyan, blasting his son backwards, leaving Gohan to land on the ground with a thud. What's going on here? All this being watched closely by Sparda, who with a bemused face would begin accessing memories from his host, muttering, "Wait, isn't this..." As Goku, now in his Super Saiyan Stage 2 form, would rise into the air and... Summoning seemingly all his might, he would power up his legendary attack as a Super Saiyan to slam down on his young vulnerable son. And with the young Gohan on the ground, he would tense every muscle within his tiny frame, a look of fear yet Saiyan rage on his face, as he would prepare for what's best not for him, but for humanity. No! But just as the Goku from the past would fire, immediately, reality would snap back for Sparda, as Green Seraphim Goku, the God Killer, would be up in the sky and be the one to blast down his almighty Kamehameha, within nanoseconds already at Sparda's fingertips. His terrified face lost in the light, as finally, our hero Son Goku had made his decision. Sparda dies here, with or without Gohan.
But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag Goku in the comments down below and let me know if Goku will make the ultimate decision. Or just find out what happens right now on my Patreon, where you can see the full next video, fully voice acted, soundtracked, and edited for you to enjoy with over 4,500 plus other fans, as well as getting access to 250 plus other fan mangas too.
It's the deal of the century.